Ditch or date? You're going out with somebody and you're wondering, should I just let this whole thing go or should I continue to date them? Here's the email. You guys can always hit us up at thebertshow.com. The email reads, I am a single mom of 2 preschool-aged children. I've been seeing a single father for the last couple of months. We both have our kids full-time, so more often than not, we do play dates. His kids are a bit older, 9 and 6. He is an incredible father. He is goofy and playful and loving towards them. However, when moments get escalated due to his kids talking back or the kids fighting with one another, I've seen him get a little bit ugly. He'll talk down to them, be condescending. Well, yeah, they're kids. And I've even seen him mock them. Our relationship is really new, so I don't feel I have the right to question his parenting, but I wouldn't want him ever to talk to my son that way if things between us progress. Do I bring this concern up to him or just end it now while things are in the early stages? I haven't dated anyone post-divorce, so I don't know what rules are what. All right, anybody can help out here? 1-855-BERT Show.
End it.
End it now, you
Absolutely.
say.
I mean, that's true colors right there. Like how he's treating his children. Like and it's one thing to be a harsh disciplinarian, but the fact that he's talking down to them and he's belittling them and he's mocking them, no child deserves to be talked to that way. They just don't.
I can specifically say for certain that when I was dating, that the way that this woman parented her child was a contributing factor for me ending the relationship. 100%. Her kid was so out of control, and the way she handled it was such a turnoff that I'm like, there is no way that we could ever co-parent this child. No chance. So it was over at that point.
Yeah, I've been there myself, and I definitely could not stay in a relationship due to how I felt someone was treating their child, and you can't change somebody like that. They're set in their ways. It's nothing you're going to do, and it's way too early in a relationship to try, so I say end it as well.
Like, I'm the type of person, if you don't tip your server and treat your server well, that's going to be a red flag, and that's going to be the end of the relationship. And that's just a server I don't know and I've never met.
Right.
So if you're treating your kids poorly, sorry, that's a deal breaker, especially if you have kids you're bringing into the relationship and this person can have interaction with your children. Absolutely not.
It's a real fine line to walk, man. When you've got kids in the house and you're co-parenting, it is really, really fine line. Like, how I try to quote unquote discipline Eliza, which I don't even really do. I'll correct.
Yeah.
But I leave the disciplining. That's her mom's thing.
Okay. Now, another side of this. So she sees what these kids are enduring. And if they're being belittled and mocked and talked down to, maybe she feels as an outside party she can intervene and help. It's not about him and changing his behavior, but it's protecting the kids. Like, what do you do then? Because now as a mom, I'm going to be like, well, I don't want those kids to be subjected to this man talking down to them and belittling them and mocking them and making fun of them. So how do you intervene to protect the kids?
Davi?
That's what I was going to say. Like, he's playful and a good dad, but it's his disciplinary actions that are speaking volumes about him. And if you just break up and leave, then who has those kids back?
Yeah.
Like, is there kind of an obligation for her to discipline him and his actions and make him better?
You're not going to change this dude. And let's just use common sense here. He is not going to parent your kids any differently than he parents his own kid.
And you have to protect your kid at all costs. I mean, that's first priority. I get that. But also, I would feel a sense of obligation almost to protect his kids.
Hey, Beth, good morning. You're part of the Bert Show.
Hi, guys. I say ditch him. The reason I say that is if it's this early in the relationship, he's already showing his quote-unquote best self, so it's only going to get worse in the future.
Yeah, most are saying the same thing. Ditch, 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 ditch. T, you say ditch?
I say ditch, but then also since it's early in the relationship, I feel like she should give him a chance to explain himself, because it could have been something from his past, the way he grew up with his parents or whatever it is. But also, how old the kids are, she should talk to the kids and see how they feel, and then they can try to let him see what emotions he's putting on these kids when he does things like that, and if he would change for the better of the kids.
I appreciate you calling. Let me take one more call from somebody that grew up as a kid that was belittled all the time. Hey, Josh.
Hey, I'm going to say this now. I was belittled most of my life. Yeah, that's true. But believe it or not, if somebody's just going to sit there, be belittled and talked down to, be honest with you, I would have left the relationship immediately and said, look, it's one of those things where, yeah, it's going to be disciplinary. But what if that turns them into the man or woman they're supposed to be? What if that happens, though?
So you're saying I'm a little unclear on exactly what you're saying.
I'm saying it's her decision either to ditch or leave, but I'm thinking that she should ditch the relationship.
Yeah, everybody's saying the same thing. Get out of that thing. Dav, you want last word on it?
I before I would leave and ditch him, I would make a stink in front of the kids because I know that I was very belittled. I was mocked. That's how like my family spoke to me. And I told you guys about my brother's girlfriend, Kelly, who just stood up in the living room and was like, you all should be ashamed of yourself. That girl is going to be beautiful one day. And if she's smart, she'll never talk to y'all again. And she left and broke up with my brother. But I'll never forget that moment that one woman stood up for me, and it like changed the course of my life. So I would make a stink before I took off, just so those kids know, like, hey, this isn't forever. When I'm 18, I can dip.
It's a good point. Feel free to call anytime, Davi.
The Bert Show.